Hi, everyone, and welcome to Inside Bristol. I'm your host, Sheridan Nichols, and I've got Heather Carbajal with me today from the American Red Cross. Thank you so much for being with us today.
Of course.
We always love having you on, and today we're really needing some help from everyone. We need some volunteers, don't we?
Yeah, and March is actually Red Cross month, and so now is the perfect time to get involved. We are seeing more and more, not only large-scale disasters, but single-family house fires. So the need for those local disaster volunteers is really increasing.
All right, so this is the month. We need to do it. You could just add it to your March Madness, everything else, right? So tell me how you become a volunteer.
So the process is pretty simple. You just go to redcross.org and click on volunteer. You're going to create a profile and walk through about a 5-step process.
Okay.
But if anybody has any issues with that, just call us. We'd be glad to meet with people one-on-one, get them started. They will have to agree to a background check that we'll cover, but also have email access and some basic computer knowledge.
And then once you become a volunteer, what all does that entail?
There is so much that the Red Cross does, so it really depends on what your interest is. We have 5 lines of service, so we collect blood, we train on first aid, CPR, safety, we support military members, veterans and their families, support internationally when requested, and also support disasters around the block and across the country.
So is this kind of the first time in a while that you've needed? I know that a lot of times we'll talk about the need for blood, but I feel like we haven't talked about the need for volunteers. Why do you think it's dropped a little bit?
Well, I don't know that it's necessarily dropped as much as it is that the needs are increasing.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so in 1982, for example, there were $3 billion disasters a year on average. So I mean, I remember growing up, you'd see that one big thing on the news and it would rock your world, right? It would shock you and you would think about it for days and weeks. And now last year we had $1 billion disaster in our country once every 11 days.
Oh my goodness.
And so it's happening more and more frequently. We as an organization haven't been without a disaster response in over 18 months.
Oh my goodness, wow. So we need everyone's help. So spread the word. And again, if you've got any questions, you can also call and talk to Heather and get all the information. And in terms of volunteering, really, you are a volunteer. So if you have 30 hours a week that then you could do that. But it's, it can really, I guess, cater to your schedule. Is that right?
Absolutely. There is something for every single person at the Red Cross. If you want to get involved, but you don't have, let's say, 2 weeks to go on a large-scale disaster deployment, you can join our local fire response team and help your own neighbors as they recover from their crisis. Or if you don't want to be necessarily out front in the community, you can do behind the scenes work. We have everything from duty officers, which are volunteers, who answer the phone when there's a fire and connect them to help. Or GIS mapping. I mean, there's a need for everything.
That is amazing. What are we missing? Am I missing anything you want to add here today?
Yeah, if I can just put in a plug that in honor of Red Cross Month, we are trying to be out and really visible in the community. There's a lot of opportunities to get involved with us. On March 5th, we're hosting a Disaster 101. So if you hear this and you think, oh my gosh, that sounds great, but I don't know where to start. I don't know what it means to be a disaster responder. Come see us. We'll be at our office at 660 Eastern Star Road from 1 to 4. And we'll have people who are volunteer leaders in their respective role. So we'll have somebody from our disaster response team who does home fires there to talk about what that really means. Somebody who deploys across the country and talk about what it means to deploy and look at those next steps. The goal of that day is for you to come in knowing nothing and find something that you love. But we also have blood drives happening in the community. We have military events that we're supporting. On March 28th, we're hosting a fundraiser called Dining for Disaster. So we're partnering with local restaurants to raise money. We are gearing up for Month of the Military Child in April. Now is such a good time to get involved.
I love that. All right, well, sign up. We need the volunteers. And thank you so much for being on today.
Absolutely.
And don't go anywhere. We'll be right back after the break. Hi, everyone, and welcome back to Inside Bristol. I'm your host, Sheridan Nichols, and I've got Courtney Arnett with me today, and we're talking about the farmers market. So tell us what we can expect this year. When does it start?
We start in May. We run May through October every Saturday, 8 to noon. And in July, we add Wednesday evenings, 2 to 6 p.m., and it's always going to be in the downtown center on State Street.
Which we're all super familiar with because this is like the 25th year, is that right?
It is. It's very exciting. It's the 25th annual anniversary of the State Street Farmers Market.
So there'll be a couple of special things maybe.
Yes, we are working through the event schedule currently. I'm very excited. I wanted to do a 25th anniversary celebration sometime in July once we have more produce that's ready to come out. And we're thinking it's going to be Christmas in July themed.
Oh,
so
I
we're
love
very
that.
excited.
Oh, how fun. And so if we want to find out more about this, do we just go to the website or how will we know?
Yes, we'll be updating our website regularly and our Facebook page as well, which is just State Street Farmers Market.
So that's where you go, Facebook, and that really is probably one of the best places to kind of keep up with it.
Definitely.
And you also post like what produce is available and kind of coming in, right? Because as we know, it gets staggered.
Yes, absolutely. We'll be posting regularly throughout the week, preparing people for which vendors plan to be there that weekend and what they'll be providing the community.
And I do love that you add the Wednesday night halfway through, in July, because I think for those people who kind of get busy on the weekend, it gives everyone in the whole community kind of a nice chance to get there and really to support, our local farmers.
Absolutely.
And that's really what this is all about. It gives our local farmers a nice chance. Not only do we get fresh produce, but we're really supporting their business at a whole different level. What does that do for the community? It just helps keep the finances here, really.
Yes, it does. It helps support small businesses and shopping local.
So now tell me about the vendor applications.
Yes, this week we actually opened up the vendor applications through a Facebook post. And to apply, you just reach out to State Street Farmers Market at bristoltn.org email. And for more information, we'll send you an application and policies and procedures and all of the information you'll need to know for being a vendor.
Anything else you want to add?
Yes, we'll be partnering with the ARC&D Council again this year, which is the Appalachian Resource Conservation Development Council. And they're going to be offering a program called Double Up, which if you're receiving SNAP benefits, which you can use at participating vendors at the farmers market.
Oh, that's great.
Yes. The Double Up program will basically be if you swipe for $10 of SNAP tokens at the farmers market, you will receive 10 free Double Up tokens to use on fresh fruit and vegetables. And we can match up to $20 per day.
Wow, that's amazing. Oh, that's great. Well, Thank you. Well, thank you so much for being on today.
Thank you.
And don't go anywhere. We'll be back in just a moment. Hi, everyone, and welcome back to Inside Bristol. I'm your host, Sheridan Nichols, and I've got Lisa Kofer with me today from the United Way. Thank you so much for being with us. And
Thank you.
We've got an update. So
Sure.
Tell us what's going on with the fundraising.
Well, we actually finalized our campaign in January, and we've raised right at 1.1 million. Our original goal was $1 million, and then our stretch goal was 1.1 million. So we have reached that and still hope to have a few more donations to come in. So we are beyond thrilled. And I really want to take this opportunity just to thank everyone in the community that helped make this happen, because if we weren't able to raise the funds that we raise every year, then not only would the 13 programs United Way administers, but all of our 26 agencies would really struggle to continue to meet the needs in the community. So a huge shout out to our community for helping us to reach that goal and exceed it.
I know. How amazing. So what's that feel like when you actually hit the goal and then exceed it? Are you just like jumping around and
yes,
the office,
absolutely.
everybody's up
we are, and you think that's not true, but it is true. We have a staff of 4, and we're all very vibrant, very passionate about our work. And so when we get close like that, and then it's just like you're pushing and pushing and pushing, and then, you finally hit that milestone and everybody is just celebrating. But we don't stop there, obviously, because even though we raised the 1.1 million, our requests for funding are way more than that. So we continue to push that and hopefully get in more dollars. But this was my 26th campaign, because I celebrated in July being with United Way for 26 years. I'm just very thankful to have been able to serve in that position. But it's always exciting. It's never like, oh, well, it's just another campaign kind of thing. So feel very blessed that the community allows me to serve and allows us to do the work that we do.
Well, and we're so thankful, because it helps
thank
so
you.
many agencies in our area and just so many great programming, and it really is, it's quite impressive. So I'm sure that feels good too, when you know that you might not be able to meet all the requests, but you can certainly meet several that really impact the community.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, we are right now through our Resource Bristol program, we ended up in 2023 receiving more than 5,200 calls for assistance. 27% of those calls were from the unsheltered trying to get permanent housing or needing emergency housing or transitional housing. A lot of families, and that's a real gap in our community right now, is we have no emergency housing for families with children. And so that's always a huge need. So we're looking at, other things we can do to meet that need in the emergency situation. And I think the last time you all had me on, I talked a little bit about our Ride United program, which is a grant-funded program that helps get people back and forth to work that are without transportation. And we just got a huge grant from TVA to help us continue that program. Yay! Shout out to TVA for that grant, because that's going to help us not only continue, but hopefully be able to branch out a little more and include a larger footprint for those folks. But we started that in March of 2023, and through March of 2023 through December, we provided almost 700 rides to folks, to about 18 different businesses and employers in the community. So not only are we supporting those people that need the transportation, but we're doing what we always strive to do, and that is support our business community and help them to make sure that their employees are able to get to work. And then, of course, through Resource Bristol, we can help those employees with other resources as well. So I tell you, our community is so blessed to have so many people that believe in the agencies and the programs that we support and help us to continue that work, but also look at those gaps and help us to fill those in as quickly as possible.
Oh, that's amazing, Lisa. Well, anything you want to add?
Just a thank you again for having me today.
Well, and congratulations.
Thank
from
you.
all of us here.
Well, it's not me, it is our community. And so a
Yeah.
huge shout out to our community for all the gifts that they give to us and allow us to put that back out in the community to make it a better place to live, work, and play.
I love that. Well, thank you so
Thank
much for
you.
joining us today, and thank you for tuning in. We'll see you next time.